Again. Hey, what's going on, world? It's me again, Ethan Smith, aka Mr. P.I.E.N, of the Daily Dose Positive. Really?
What?
Positive post. I was going into my normal, regular daily routine thing, but soulful Saturday session of expression sessions. Hopefully, y'all having a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. Everybody's been out doing something lovely, relaxing, enjoying the day. You know me, I got up and rocked here with my beautiful co-host, my wife. I was just going. Anyhow, Key, hey, tell the people how you doing, babe?
Doing good.
Gianni, what's going on, Gianni? How's it going? What you working on over here?
I was looking up something for today's message.
Oh, okay. What is today's message?
If you could pick a superpower, which one would it be?
Hey, okay, that's a good topic. Nothing much, Gianni. I appreciate you sharing these videos. Please, as y'all tune in, make sure you share this video with somebody. Be a blessing to someone else. If this blesses you, be a blessing to someone else. A little bit of inspiration for your situation. Hopefully, it will free your mind as if you are on vacation. I've been saying that a lot lately. I think I kind of like it. I'm attempting to find my intro, my my thing. Joe Osteen got his thing. He hit you with a joke.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? T.D. Jakes got his thing. His scripture is to stand up. Like Eric Thomas got his thing. Is what up, what up, what up. When I first started, it was, hey, what's going on, world?
Right.
But now it's like, what am I here for? This is a little inspiration for your situation. What do I want it to do? I want it to relax your mind as if when you on vacation. Because usually people when think they on vacation, my mind should be at ease. So
right.
That's
the goal.
I'm just playing with some things. It's one of my superpowers is to play around with things. As my wife said today, we want to talk about if you had a superpower, what would it be and why? And I want you to think about that question before you answer it. If you had a superpower, what would your superpower be and why? And me, myself, I have a very interesting superpower that some may not believe is a superpower. What's going on, son? You got to love. He didn't even say hey to me first. So.
Hey, Sutton.
That's good. Old Sarge taught you well. Now say hi to me or give me 20, Sutton. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Thank you for everybody that's joining in. Please make sure you share this video with a family member, a friend. If this video inspires you, be an inspiration to someone else, be a blessing to someone else. And the topic that we're talking about today, that we're having fun with, that we're expressing ourselves on and hoping to motivate somebody and encourage someone to define a superpower is, if you had a superpower, what would your superpower be and why? What would your superpower be and why? You know what your superpower would be, honey?
I have no idea. I've been thinking about it, but I don't know what I want to transport myself, what I want to have X-ray vision.
What's up, old man? I told you that's gonna be coming for me today, huh? Okay, Sutton. All right, thank you. I take that gracefully. I'm getting older, but ain't no old in my man. Okay. Name now. Anyhow, what were you saying, love?
I was just saying I'm not sure. I haven't chose one yet. I don't know if I want super strength or if I want to teleport or I'm not sure. I'm gonna think about it.
All right, well, cool. Well, superpowers, when I was just even thinking up what a superpower is, I'm gonna go for the definition before I give you the quote. And then I will let you know what my superpower would be and see what you may think about that and see if I can help you. So a superpower is a very powerful and influential nation, used especially when in reference to the U.S. and the former Soviet Union.
It's talking about that type
They're
of
talking about that superpower.
Yeah.
I'm talking about superpowers. What are your superpowers?
Like a superhero?
Yes. If you were a superhero, what would your superpower be, right? Isn't that what I said? What's going on, Victorino? All right, anyhow, if I had superpowers, what would my superpower be and why?
Yes.
My superpower would be the art of genuine and true communication. That's it.
Okay.
Simple.
Take us in there, because most people, when they think of superpowers, they probably not gonna pick communication.
No, because they're gonna pick teleporting and shoot fire and shoot ice
super
out my
strength
hands
and flying and
being invisible.
Yes.
And things like that.
Yes.
My superpower would be communication.
Okay.
Why and I know communication is something that we do on a regular basis, or okay, at least talking. And all the time, we're not communicating what I believe communication is for me. It's easy to speak to people. We do have the gift to speak. It's easy to talk to people, just to open your mouth and say some stuff. Mm-hmm. But to be able to communicate with someone, to make sure you articulate your message, or you say your message in a way that they understand the point that you're trying to give, and as well, you also receiving and understanding their point, to actually communicate. It's like when people are arguing, it's like, how can you be listening to me if you talking?
Yes.
And in order to truly know how to communicate, you have to know how to listen.
Right.
And with communication, some powerful things can happen, like the spoken word. I heard DMX say this when I was listening to Lord Give Me a Sign the other day when I was leaving the gym, and I'm a butcher it. I won't get it right. And he said the spoken word is stronger than the strongest man. Communication is the spoken word. Some people have taken communication as a superpower and used it for evil and for good. Think about Hitler and how many people he had following him to massacre Jews based on what they looked like. That was a power. That was a superpower, because everybody didn't have that power to communicate, to get that following of people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you think about someone like Martin Luther King, or you think about a Gandhi or a Nelson Mandela, and these are all people who use the power of communication to draw people together, to get people to go in the direction of a greater good. And I'm not saying that any of these guys were perfect, the good or the bad, but they had an ability to use their voice, to use their ability to listen to what the people wanted. You know what I'm saying? And then be able to feed them back the information in a way that they can take it and understand. So my superpower would be true and genuine communication, to be able to move forward in life with people. You know?
Okay. So do you think it's a form of persuasion, or using this superpower?
I believe so.
What would
because
you want
conversation is definitely a form of persuasion. And anybody that think it isn't would be telling a lie, if you ask me. Just in this moment, most of the time when people engage in a conversation, most of the time, depending on what the conversation is, they want something out of you. And depending on how that conversation goes, somebody is going to either get their way or not. For example, Zaria wants to go to the park next door. The way she presents that conversation, like she told you the other day, I'll be good. You can trust me. I'm trying to persuade you to believe that I'm going to be solid so you can let me go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want, again, I guess I do want the power of persuasion, but not to persuade people to do the wrong thing. With great power comes great responsibility.
Indeed.
Jesus had the power to persuade, but he persuaded people to do only his Father's work.
Yeah.
See, a lot of times when people want superpowers, who are your superpowers really benefiting?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who are your superpowers really benefiting? If I can be invisible, then what am I going to do? How am I helping someone? If I'm thinking I can be invisible, I'm like, poof, in the bank, poof, debt gone. I'm just saying, let's quit playing with this thing right now. If I had the gift of being invisible,
right,
poof, got my kids, poof, no more drama with my baby mama, baby daddy. I don't know. Like, poof, I'm in school, I got all the information. Boom, I'm back out. Poof, I'm back in. I only show up on days to do the test. I ace it because you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, most people, when they're like, ooh, I wish I could just shoot fire. Ooh, every time they get on my nerves, I just, I wish I could make people shut up and stop talking when they irritate. Like, most of the time you want a superpower, it's so you can have an advantage over someone else.
Absolutely.
And you're right. I guess communication would be a form of persuasion, but I want to persuade people's mind and to get them to thinking and really hearing for me, like to hear God's word.
Yes.
Not the Catholic Church, the Methodist Church, the Buddhist, the Baptist, the Pentecostal, the Apostolic, the non-denomination, the Muslim. Like, I don't want you to hear none of their words. I want them to be able to hear God's word. So I want to be able to communicate in a way to people not look at me, but they look internally. And they look internally for themselves so they see what's inside of them. Like, I want to be able to communicate to help. I want to have a power to be able to bless somebody else because I learned how to listen to them.
Yes.
To truly communicate, not talk at them, not talk just to respond, but to truly communicate. So that's why communication would be my superpower. I'm kind of deep thinking like that. At least I think. Corny, weird, out the box. You could JBY and just be who you want to be. But tell me, what would your superpower be and why? And how would you use it to bless other people? You got a superpower?
I do not, but I'm thinking about
communication. Tell me
communication.
you got.
I'm thinking about communication. I like it because it's obtainable. If I pick super strength, am I really going to be able to obtain that? I mean, it's nice to dream and wish I can pick up, anything and toss it around, but it's not really obtainable. But I like communication because I can always strengthen myself in the area of communication.
Absolutely.
I can always learn more to become a better communicator.
You can always, you can learn by just sitting in silence, listening to other people. That's what Jesus did, like the first 30-some years of his life, right? He didn't start doing his ministry till he was what, 33? Something like 30s. That, in his 30s. So for the first number of years, he was listening. When he left his mom them and they went back for him, he was sitting with the elders, listening. You know what I'm saying? And learning. And then he learned how to communicate. Like him changing the disciples. Wow, thank you, Holy Spirit. I wasn't even thinking about this, but y'all go with me. I think I'm going somewhere, okay? His power to communicate, like literally earlier today when I was on my walk, I tell you, I don't read the Bible as much as I used to, but I listen to it. When I'm walking, I listen to it, let it speak to me. So they were talking about in the book of Acts, because I wanted to know when Saul, Paul came into play and how this all broke down. But they was talking about Peter and the disciples, and they were, talking about the works of Jesus, how he came back and the Holy Spirit fell upon them. Like all based off of him when he was younger, he was listening. He was listening. He learned how to communicate. And then by him communicating with Peter and the disciples, they took that word and it continued to be used to this day.
Right.
So that power of communication to be able to persuade people to look within themselves and move further in life, that would be a superpower. And I like what you said. That is attainable. Because I could go after it, I could reach for it. You know what I'm saying? I could develop this. It's like when I told you earlier, I never really got off into comic books or comic book movies because it's not real. I guess I'm not a nonfiction guy. Fiction guy. That's the fake stuff. Nonfiction is the real stuff. I always get it mixed up, right? You're looking like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember. You can look it up on Google.
I am.
But fiction is the fake stuff. Nonfiction is the real stuff. I've never been a sci-fi guy and all those things, even though I believe they could be possible.
Right.
But it gives people, I don't want to say a false hope, but a false hope. Like you just said with the super strength. I go on the weights. In gym, I can lift all the weights I want. But am I really going to be able to lift an 18-wheeler truck, load it off somebody?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, am I really going to be able to do that? Probably not. But can I communicate with the person that might be up under there and maybe say the right thing to them to help them and they passing on if they passing on, to be able to shut up and listen and not freak them out by screaming and worrying? Like, I can learn that skill.
Yes.
To communicate. So for me, my superpower would really be to develop my gift and make my gift a superpower that God has already gave me.
Oh, that's good. So are you saying that all of our gifts could be our superpower?
Your gift is your superpower, but you have to discover what your gift is.
Right. And then develop it.
But see, the thing is, you never know what your gift is. You never really looking at it because you always looking at the external, what other people say won't work. Like your gift could have been dancing. Every time music comes on, I've been telling you this for years. Every time music come on, you want to see my wife dance, play some music. I don't care what it is. It could be honky tonk, it could be reggae, it could be line dance, it could be gospel, it could be thugged out, it could be Uncle Luke, get it. Like, it could be whatever. She don't have no chill. She dancing. That's who you are. Like, that's a superpower. Like, real talk. She dancing. That's who she is. You know what I'm saying? But somebody told you that wasn't enough. What if that was your gift? And if you'd have developed it, people would look at you in the same admiration as we look at somebody like a Debbie Allen. That's a superpower. To be able to give people that type of joy through your art, through your dance. You know what I'm saying? See, superpowers are powers that I believe we already possess. We don't develop. And with the comic book heroes, they want you to see the fire and the flame and the flying, and they want you reaching for these things that's probably unrealistic. And the more I'm looking at them and they superpower and what they have, I don't realize the superpower that's within me. Yes. Because it's not developed. So share this video. Somebody need to hear this. You need to think about, what is your superpower? If you had one, what would it be? How would you use it? Would it bless somebody else? Or would you be like some people, even me back in the day, and you catch me on the right day today, you give me that invisible stuff, poof, bank, poof, I'm out, poof, debt be gone. I'm going to be Robin Hood for real. Like, everybody going to be on Mr. P.I.E.N. product. Like, we gonna be out there. But anyhow, fortunately for me, I have the gift of communication, and I'm developing that superpower. And I hopefully that God continues to keep me humble and use me to be a blessing with my gift and not a curse. And that's the thing about when you do develop your superpower, you have to be a blessing with it, because your power is only going to strengthen and enhance someone else. Yeah. So what would your superpower be? She been here now for 17 minutes. Let me see. 16:33 superpower.
I don't mean I picked something. Yours is so deep. Now I have to find something deep.
No, you got to JBY that thing. You got to just be you. But does that make sense to y'all world? I mean, tell me what's going on out there. Everybody thinking about what my superpower be.
Yeah, you caught us
off guard. What would your superpower be, and how would you use it? And even if you have one of those things, just because you like, I want to throw fire, my boss tripping, and I just need to, you get like, if that's what you feel, this expression sessions. Express yourself, and maybe we can work through why you want to hit them with the all you can, because I done had some of those too. Like, I wish I could just turn in the water and just flow on up out of here. Like, she tripping, just I'm out. Like, so even if you have a superpower that seems fun, that seems silly, that just seems free of life and is realistic, you want to win, you want to touch something and it turn into money, and you just give it away. I don't know what your superpower may be, but if you had a superpower, what would it be? How would you use it? And how would it bless someone else? And mine would be communication. Might seem lame to some, but I think communication is one of the most powerful weapons that we have. It's more powerful than guns. It's more powerful than drugs. Sometimes it's more powerful than politics. And that's been shown because the people and the lobbyists who speak the right conversation and use the most money at the right time, they communicating, we got your back one way or the other. We saying what you want to hear, or we paying what you want us to pay. Right. Because money talks in this society, and that's a form of communication for some. But if you really understand the spoken word, or as DMX said, the spoken word is stronger than the strongest man. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Then you'll realize you have a superpower, and we all have that superpower, that ability to communicate. If with no one else, you can communicate with you. You can speak to the hero inside of you. You can speak to the shero inside of you. You can speak to the victor inside of you. You can communicate the love language to you that you want to hear. That right there is a superpower in itself. And then maybe you will feel the light shining and you feel like you got the fire and you got the flame. But like, you yourself are a superpower just because you're here. You don't need anything outside of you. Even though I would like to have an Iron Man suit. Thank you very much. What's going on, Victorino, Talanda, and Juarez? What if you were a superhero or not even a superhero, if you had a superpower, what would your superpower be? How would you use it to bless someone else? How would you use your superpower? Mine would be the power to communicate effectively. My wife, I don't know if she pays attention. She like, my superpower is just sitting here being around you for 20 plus years. That's my superpower.
That's about it. Hey. Oh.
Thank you. Thank you. What would your superpower be, man? How would you use it to bless someone else? You know, I was looking at something earlier, and I don't want to go off topic, but I think about this from time to time. I want to keep abreast of what's going on in the news, what's going on locally, you know, not even locally, but in the world. You know, we don't watch TV and we don't keep up.
Right.
This is a superpower to me, and I'm going to tell you why I think so. This is definitely a power. It says that Britain's Harry and Meghan will no longer be working members of the royal family palace. So what that means is they have, what do you want to call it? You know how you divorce your parents? Yes. They have divorced their royalties.
Interesting.
They said they want to live like common folk. They don't want to take no more money from the crown. They said they paying their money back that they got from the crown, and they want to spend more time in North America and live their life without the backing of the palace and the rules and the regulations and the way the palace go. I want something different.
Yes.
That superpower right there to communicate that to those generations and monarchs, not really so much for Kate. No offense. I don't know her like that. I think that's her name, his wife. No offense. No shade to her. But let's keep real what real is. The royal family ain't really thinking about her because she married in. She ain't bloodline in. She fitting because she his wife. But the fact that you have the power, or call it what you want to call it, the power or the influence over him to go. You know what I'm saying? They have to step back and allow this because, again, if they communicate the wrong information, that power struggle, somebody attempting to use too much of their communication superpower could be a problem. But how powerful does that have to be for you to be born into something, for you to be born into wealth, you to be born into royalty, you to be born into a hierarchy, you to be born into a system, and this is the way we do things, and this is how we operate, and then you say no more, I don't want to do this, I want to live life on my terms. Oh, that's so good. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Speaking up for yourself is a superpower that most of us don't have or don't use. Think about that. I'll wait on y'all to think about that.
Speaking up for ourselves is a superpower
that we have,
but
most of us don't use.
You
don't believe me? Think about it. How many people here went to college because their parents or family members said they should go? Raise your hands. I'm looking. I don't see y'all hands up. See? Okay, cool. One out of the millions in attendance. No. No, seriously. Think about that. If you would have, okay, one, then I know it's more out there. How many people have been forced to work overtime on a job when you didn't want to? You knew you had to leave, but you had to stay because your job was on the line. I'm definitely one. What if you wouldn't have flexed your superpower? And I don't want to go deep in the conversation, but what if you wouldn't have flexed your superpower of speaking up for yourself before our oldest? You understand how I'm saying that? Speaking up for yourself is a superpower, because sometimes not speaking up for ourselves, we give our power to someone else. And then we find ourselves in a position of feeling like the victim, feeling defeated, feeling broken, feeling beaten down. Looking at Prince, I believe it's Harry and Meghan, like to speak up for themselves, not to say we got anything against the royal palace and the way they do things, but We husband and wife, we have our own kids. A man leaves his father and his mother and cleaves to his wife, and the two shall become one. We have our own family that we're bringing up. The world has changed. Nobody is looking at kings and monarchs and things like that anymore. We want to live life on our terms. We want to live life our way. We want to do what makes us happy. We want to flex our muscle. We want to explore our superpower, our power to speak up for what we want.
Right.
Again, it goes back to power to communicate for me. My superpower would be something that's already in me. I just need to develop it more. All right, you go ahead.
I think that's good because, like we said, like I told you earlier, when you think of a superpower,
I remember Tasha. Hey,
you
Tasha.
don't necessarily think of something you already have. Think of, a comic book character and
why?
I don't know
why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because
we've never been taught that.
But God said if you had a faith of the mustard seed,
that
you can make this mountain move. If that ain't a superpower, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't hear, and I ain't looking to go our scripture. I just go where he take me, and I know you'll understand this. We don't think we have superpowers because they've only shown us other people with superpowers. Right. It's regular human beings that's done some miraculous things that's not talked about on a regular basis, that would seem out of the normal, would seem pretty super.
Right.
But the book says, God says, if you had the faith of a mustard seed, that you could move mountains, you could cast demons out of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm listening to the book of Acts this morning, Peter went into an apostle's room. I think her name was Tabitha. And was like, Tabitha, get up. Peter human last time I checked.
Right.
Peter was on the boat, like fishing. Yeah, he ain't not that way, but Peter was fishing.
Right.
He human like I'm human, right? He used his superpower. He believed what Jesus told him. You'll do works greater than me. I raise the dead, you can raise the dead. He believed that. They believed in the gods. They believed in prophetesses, people who had higher powers. You know what I'm saying? They believed in that. But as we started to move further and Jesus come along and, everybody got right connection to God, people wanted to tell you what you don't have, what you couldn't do. And now we only present these mythical creatures to you, or these mythical comic book heroes. These are the ones with superpower, not knowing that all of us have our own internal superpowers. We just haven't developed it yet. And for me, communication is a superpower. Flexing your superpower, the ability to speak up for yourself. It's a lot of people in bad situations because we won't use our power to speak, our power to communicate, our power to say, no, not me. It's like now with the women's and the Me Too movement. I believe that's what it's called, the Me Too movement with the sexual harassment. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't be on everything, but I know enough, okay? Stick with me now. I'll teach you something. It'll bless you if you let it. This was brought to you by Mr. P.I.E.N and the good people. Mr. P.I.E.N LLC. Today's message: if you had superpowers, what would they be? How would you use them? And would it be a blessing to someone else? So again, Harry and Meghan, they decided that they're going to lead a crown. They're going to come over to North America, hang out for a little bit longer, flex their power, and speak up for themselves and do what they feel. And I know, I get it. When you think superpowers, we thinking like, I shoot fire. Oh, I'm Mr. Invisible. I got water. Like, I don't know, teleporting and things like that. And Dr. Xavier, I'm reading minds. If you know how to communicate, you know body language, and you listen, you can read exactly what they tell you. You ain't got to read their mind. You barely can read your own mind. It's a book I looked at. Don't worry about it. Anyhow, I'm just saying, superpowers. There you go.
Well, this is expanding the mind because, like I said, we don't think of our own abilities or gifts and talents as a superpower per se. But the comic book character traits, we do. We see that as a superpower, and it's something that we can't touch, but it's fun and it's cool to think that, hey, if I had this superpower, I could do, things that I don't normally do. But also, just talking to you, if I find out what my gift is and I work hard at sharpening that gift, then I can do something that I don't normally do. And so if you define it like that,
share this video. Wait, what's going on, sir? Lounsbury?
If you define it like that, then it's like, wow, I could be a superhero. I just haven't taken the time to find out what my Really gonna put your palm in the
my bad, because you not
the
in the
camera.
camera over here.
Oh.
You got to get close. Yeah, you're right. So, hey. Oh, no. Okay. But yeah, so again, I want you to
So
think
what
in a
if my
different way.
gift is kindness? Can that be my superpower?
Yeah, because
can
you know,
I be kind in the world that's been cruel to me?
Haven't
can
you
I
already done it?
Can I choose?
No. We can just stop right there.
Yes, I have.
Have you? Doesn't that take the power of something greater than yourself?
Absolutely.
I
was just gonna say, when you're encountering mean people all the time, it takes hard work to stay positive and kind to other people.
Listen
it
to
really
me.
does. And it takes a you getting okay with who you are, to know that despite the hate or despite the bad people I encounter, I'm choosing to be a kind person because this is who I want to be. I want to be a kind person, and it's not predicated upon whether you're nice to me or not.
Absolutely.
I choose to be kind whether you're nice to me or not, and I can also choose that if you're not nice to me, that I can go on. I can take my kindness on, but I don't have to stop being a kind person. So sometimes we don't see our gifts as gifts or superpowers because people have not always maybe praised us for them or respected them, but
that's why you got to
you have to be okay.
Promote, sell, push yourself.
You definitely have to be okay with who you are so that you can continue being that despite the obstacles you face or despite life happening to you.
I agree.
We don't look at kindness as a superpower, or maybe communication, or maybe dance, or whatever, artistic ability you may have, or, that thing that you're really good at is your superpower.
I think so. I don't see why it couldn't be if you enhance it. Like, your gift will make room for you and bring you in the presence of great men.
Right.
Your gift is your superpower. You know what I'm saying? LeBron have the ability to play basketball like, no other, but he had to develop that as well.
Yeah.
He's not the only person. Like, that's his superpower, his ability to make people fit, work together, regardless to what people say about him. He get his teammates involved. I might say something, somebody else might say something, but his power to deflect or not hear that noise and still go on the court and execute. Again, that's a superpower, to be able to turn off the noise of what everybody else is saying.
Yeah,
it's for your life. Like, think about this. We tripping on the wrong stuff. We tripping on flying and teleporting and all that. It's still going to be drama. It's going to be haters that teleport. It's going to be haters that fly. Oh, you teleport slow, bro. You know I be teleport like jump 2.5. Like, it's always going to be somebody. But imagine having the power to silence the noise. Like, imagine having the power to just hear your voice and to hear a power that's greater than you. God, what I like to call him. You call him what you want to call him. But imagine having that power to move on after someone told you that you yourself was not enough. If someone, after you fell short and fell down and felt like, why did I get in this relationship, Lord? This set me back further than what I was already at. You know, why did I take this job, Lord? Like, oh, it's okay that they fired me. It's okay that I quit. I'm going to move on. My power is to not get stuck in my past, look at my present, and keep moving toward my future. Like, when I think of superpower, I want to think about something that I internally have that I can really develop. You're not finna get me with Santa Claus is real. You're not finna get me with leprechauns and all that. And see, I know we believe in these little cute white lies because it's been part of our tradition for so long, and there's so many things that can go deep. So if you'll believe that, you'll also believe the fact that you don't possess a superpower. When God tells us that we were birthed with a gift, and our gift is going to make room for us. But in order for you to get your gift, you got to listen to him. You got to allow him to develop it. And I guarantee you, you might not think what you do is super. I think I'm a good speaker, right? I don't know how my speaking in these videos be touching people. But God has shown me in the last 2 weeks, from messages we've gotten, people that's contacted me, things that I share with you that people have shared with me, the lady from the speaking event at the first part of the year, like, this is a gift.
Yes.
To some, what I do is a superpower. Like, you just can go up there and speak and you look so comfortable and you just be, and I'm like, no, I was nervous and everything. But I may not see it as a gift. Right. I used to say, oh, I just talk all the time. I was just talking crap. You may not see your superpower as a power because somebody else has discredited your potential and your value.
Yes.
So my superpower would be, again, the ability to communicate, authentically communicate, to listen, to hear what a person's real desires are, not their needs, but their desires and they wants. Like, hear what they saying, what they're saying, and take it at face value, not what I want them to say,
right?
Not what I think you should say. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And not trying to feed them.
Y'all hear this? Share this video, but go ahead, babe.
And not trying to feed them your truth and have them believe it. You just want to hear what's on their heart and again, give them the gift of being heard, because a lot of people feel like they're not being heard, and maybe that's why they don't know what their superpower is.
Okay, well,
because if you're so used to your parents or your boss or your maybe your spouse telling you, you know, what to do, who to be, or perhaps you have kids and you're a parent, and sometimes that comes first before anything else. So you don't really. I know you feel different about that, but for me, being a mother and a wife oftentimes comes before who I am as an individual. And it's funny because I was an individual before I was a wife.
Here's the thing.
And before I was a parent. But for some reason in my mind, these two things, these two responsibilities have more weight than me being a person.
So let me ask you this then.
If I had to choose, like if a situation arises and it's concerning you or my children, and I had something planned, the way I'm wired, I'll drop what I have planned to make sure you and the kids are good.
That goes back to that superpower of, what did I say about Kate now? To speak up for yourself.
Yeah.
And I tell my wife this a lot, and I'm being real, like real talk. Sometimes you got to tell me and the kids no. You got to tell your husband and your children no. You got to tell your wife no. I know, happy wife, happy life. I know a man would rather live on a roof than live with a quarrelsome woman. I know those things. I've heard those things. What I also know is you don't discover who you are and become the best of you and find your superpower. If you don't know what that is, you can only be powerful for other people for so long. You're going to run out of gas. You're going to run out of steam.
Yes.
And I tell my wife that I love that you put us first. I do. But I would love it more if you put yourself first. I might not like it. It's a difference. Now, I might not like when she out couponing for hours and I want to sit down and just be cuddled because I want to be cuddled. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might not like it, but I love the fact that she goes out, don't call nobody, don't say nothing. I know where she at.
Yeah.
CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, Randall's. I know all 6 locations of where she gonna be. It's
Absolutely.
The infantry in me.
Absolutely.
But I love the fact that she flexes that power and that muscle to say, no, not today. And it's like, I'm hoping that me being a example of me doing that as well, but not rude in a disrespectful way.
Yes.
You continue to do that, and you do, and you have to in order for you to develop whatever that superpower is. Even if you was like, cool, I got the fire in the ice, to learn how to control it, where you want it to go, how much of it needs to come out. You know what I'm saying? Whether you want to freeze or lightly frost something over. You got to use it.
Yes.
You got to use whatever that superpower is. You got to develop it. It's not just going to come out like money, like Steph Curry. You got to develop that thing. You have to develop your no power. You have to develop your not right now power.
Yeah.
You have to develop your superpower. You had to develop your kindness power.
Yes.
You didn't start being kind to people and letting people attempt to run over you in your 30s. This was something like our daughter, Zaria, kindness meter. She comes in, makes sandwiches for the whole neighborhood,
yes.
and then go back out.
Yes.
Somebody gonna burn her for that probably later or attempt to. I don't want them to, but I'm being real.
Yeah.
And when you kind like that and you continue to give to people like that, that is a superpower, because she get into it with her little friend, she cry, she come back in, she go give them a sandwich or something. Some people be like, oh, don't let her get pushed over like that. She go as far as she need to go, like her mother.
Yes.
And then she go back.
Right.
But me, I'm like, yo, don't let them get you that far. Flex your superpower and say no. Save you some headache. Save you some stress. Save you some crying. Save you some heartache. And speak up for yourself. He who lives in me is greater than he who lives in the world. Like, we have to flex our superpower to become who he says we are, who he wants us to be, not what they say. Because if you're listening to what he's saying, what's said inside of you internally, then what they say don't matter, because what you're doing will bless other people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
so you don't have to stop being nice and
no,
kind.
that's
you
a
just have to
superpower.
know when someone is trying to take advantage of you.
Superman knew when to turn on Superman, and he knew when to turn it off.
Right.
You knew when to turn on kindness. It was who you are, so you did it, but you also knew when to take a step back.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's something I learned to develop. I used to just give kindness all over the place, and then my feelings would be hurt. And now I'm learning to just pull it back. No, I don't have to stop being kind, but I don't have to, what the Bible says, give my pearls among swine. I don't have to just give it to people who I know have malicious intent.
Absolutely.
I can just go and find another circle of people to be around, because you know, you are valuable, and you don't want people to steal from you, you know, your superpower, because people do it. They'll know you're a kind person. They'll come around you just so they can get that kindness, not because they need something, but because they can take it from you or try to tear you down. They'll do it. So
Absolutely.
you have to recognize, you know, when your kindness is being accepted and it's a good thing for that person, because maybe they haven't experienced kindness, or when you're amongst people who just want to suck you dry. They just want to take from you, and they don't have anything to give in return. So once you learn your superpower, you, like Ethan said, you have to develop it, and you have to know, when do I use it? When do I shoot the fire? When do I shoot the ice? When do I, you know, you have to know when to use it, when to not use it, who to use it for, so that you preserve your energy. And, you know, the gifts that you have are for a purpose. So you don't want to just be haphazardly using them or not using them, because that could be bad too if you're not using it.
That's
so
true.
You don't want to haphazardly be using it or not using it. You want to learn, you know, all of the facets of it, so that you can be very productive in your superpower.
Hey, Nine, I just found a super powerful quote. It says, the things that make us different, those are our superpowers, by Lena Waithe. First Black woman to win an Emmy for comedy writing. Look at God. I just found that right around Martin Luther King's birthday. Shout out to me for finding that. Thank you, Jesus. All right, I'm back. No. But the things that make us different, those are our superpowers. What makes me and you different? You're kinder than I am. You are a lot kinder than I am. But I'm willing to stand up and be bold for myself. Like, nah, I'm not doing that. Like, I flex that superpower. But that's what makes us, that's our superpower.
Yes.
In some shape, form, or fashion. What makes you different, what makes you stand out from everyone else, is a part of your power and who you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's intended that way.
Indeed.
Okay. So again, what if you had a superpower? What would it be? How would you use it? And would it bless somebody else? Would somebody else benefit from your superpower? Please share this video. I want you to think deeper on that question. And I just want to teleport. I just want to be invisible. Think about something that you possibly have right now. That thing that you do well. That thing that you do well, even though it's hard for you at times. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people don't like math, but they do it so well once they sit down with it. It's like, I don't like it, but I'm just good at it. Or once I get my hands on it, like,
Or that thing that you do like. It brings you joy when you do it.
Absolutely. That thing
Does
that
it
you
bring
do
you
well.
joy when you paint? Does it bring you joy when you take
That's
pictures?
a power, because some people can't paint. Think about Michelangelo. Think about those type of people. You know what I'm saying? People that paint cars. Like, I'm not mechanically inclined. I don't think so. I can put some stuff together, but I ain't getting under no hood. That's not a power.
Yeah. So if you're a mechanic, that's a superpower. Everybody can't get under there and know how to put what where and know how this functions to help that. And if you, I don't know, you take photographs, you're like photographer, and you have the eye for the beauty in photography. Like anybody can take a selfie or anybody can take a picture of this microphone, but some people just have a keen eye for the angle to take it to where there's beauty in it. But my daughter used to take, our daughter Tradacy used to take pictures of raindrops, and you think like raindrops, really, that's so basic, but oh my God, she has the eye for the beauty in a raindrop and the way she would take it and the angle and the lighting, and it was just like, wow, that's really a raindrop. And so we see these things as something so basic, but a lot of us have these gifts and talents in us already that we need to discover and just develop. And man, you could bless so many people with your superpower, because artwork is everything. You have a piece of painting that, you know, speaks to you. It makes you emotional in maybe a good way or a bad way. But the same with music. You have artists who, man, they sing a song in such a way that it touches you. It can inspire you to action. It can remind you of a parent. It's so many gifts and talents that we have that can be a blessing to someone else.
And again, how do you talked about Tradacy and the raindrops, and you talk about artists and things like that. And it's again, once you discover what that power is, you have to develop it, because I'm sure the first raindrop picture she took didn't work out.
Right.
I'm sure the first microphone picture that they took didn't work out. The first podcast, the first camera setup what we didn't work out. Not that this editing thing and shooting videos is our superpower, but the more we do it, the better we get. So if you get better at driving a car and that's not your superpower, you know what I'm saying? You get better at riding a bike, that's not your superpower, but you've done it enough. Like they said, repetition is key.
Yeah.
You think about people like Eric Thomas, superpower to communicate. Like bring Tony Robbins, communicate. Yes. Bring people together. You know what I'm saying? Denzel, acting.
Yeah.
Like that's, you know what I'm saying? Yes. Some people just, Whitney Houston's gift was to sing. Regardless. Yes. That's a power that some people don't possess. And people don't look at it as a superpower because it's not benefiting anyone else.
Their gifts are benefiting other people. No. But I guess not in the sense of a typical comic book superhero.
No. What I'm saying is, we may not see this gift to communicate, because I don't see it as maybe benefiting someone else till people start telling you.
Right.
Whitney Houston didn't know how good her singing was probably till people start telling her and putting her on that platform. Yeah. What I'm saying is we all have some type of superpower, but we don't believe that because maybe other people don't recognize it. Or when we do attempt to flex it, they tell us it's not what it is.
Yes.
But when you see somebody who's like, nah, I ain't listening to you, I'm going to keep on doing my thing. And people turn and they shift. Now everybody's on the team.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I developed the power, the gift, the talent that I had within me. And now everyone else sees this as some type of fire or flame or power that they want to be attached to. How did this come about? I discovered what my talent was, what my gift was, what my power voice, as Les Brown called it, what that was, what I was gifted to do. And then I worked on that and I developed that. And then it helped me to blossom and become who I am. Yes. And I think that's what's important. We can talk about what you think your superpower is, how would you use it, and how would it bless someone else. But what's really important is, do you know how to discover what your superpower is?
That's important.
You have
because maybe we don't.
Okay, well, you gonna tell us how to do it.
Oh, I thought you was gonna tell us how to do it.
I was thinking we could tell them how to do it. But okay, now I'll just give you some tips and tricks and things that really work for me. But when you think about it, We talked about you being kind from the time you was a kid. You tell me stories about going outside and feeding the kids like Zaria did. You come in and ask your mom for $1 for ice cream. Everybody getting ice cream. That is a act of kindness.
Right.
But nobody probably told you was being kind. You just so damn nice. You always want to feed everybody. Everybody don't have that energy just to love and accept people where they're at, to be kind to them in that moment. That is a superpower, but you didn't know what it was because people told you it was something that it wasn't.
Yes.
So how do you develop or find what your superpower is? You get what my wife used to always ask me, alone. You get by yourself. You plug your ears up with some headphones or something sometimes. Use your fingers for 5 or 10 minutes if you have to. You get alone, you get still, you get quiet, and then you listen and you think. This is that time I want you to refer to your past and look in your past and see, what is it, that one thing that I've always done, that I've always done well? What is that thing that always brought me joy, or those things? Because some people have more than one gift and talent.
Yes.
What are those things? And if you think back on that, most of it will be with you throughout your life. You hear about people who sing, or you hear about people who dance. You talk to their parents, their aunties, their uncles, their friends. They'll say, oh, they've been dancing since they was a kid. You know, yeah, we all started, you know, they messing around when we was kids. But some people really were like, yo, I'm about this life. Mom put me in dance. I want to sing. I want to do this. They knew early on what their power was, what their superpower was. My little niece, who grooms the dogs, she knew young that I got a connection with dogs. I can do this. This is my power. She found her power voice, her superpower, and now it's blessing her and blessing so many other people. But she had to get by herself and not listen to the noise of everyone else. So how do you discover your superpower? You get by yourself first. You get by yourself and you quiet yourself. You just sit in still silence. Like, remember the garage episode a couple months back, cleaning out the garage, going into that empty space, sitting in there in it. Same thing almost. Assessing the situation, you know, what's going on? How do I want to act on it? Executing. So what you want to do is go in that room, sit in that still, quiet place. Next, you want to think back on your life and where you at now. What is that one thing that I've done, sometimes effortlessly, or that thing that was hard for me, but it also brought me joy and peace as I got through it? You figure that out next. And the third thing that you do is you start acting on becoming that person. You start telling yourself you're that person. You just keep speaking that person into existence. You continue to JBY. That is just being you. You continue to be kind. You continue to be caring. You continue to be giving. You continue to celebrate your superpower, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you constantly do maintenance. You constantly go in for a long time and quiet time. You constantly remind yourself. I talk about this. I've been talking to people for all my life.
Yes.
Sometimes I was just talking crap and people would follow me in my crap talking. So I know talking was a superpower. Communicating was or could be a superpower if I develop it more.
Yes.
So again, listen to yourself. Sit by yourself. Listen to yourself. Think about those things that you do well, that brought you joy, brought you peace, brought you love. Sometimes those things even made you uncomfortable. And once you do that, you sit there and you ask yourself and you find out what it is. Then you work towards developing that gift. You go read up on it. You study up on it. You put yourself in an environment, for me, such as speaking, Toastmasters, my daughter's elementary school, the open mics we talking about.
Yes.
You put yourself in position to develop your gifts. My wife often says you like dealing with problems somewhat to agree. So you've worked jobs that needed maybe restructuring, organization. People there needed some love, needed a hug. You're not a big talker all the time, but you're a great listener.
Yes.
So you sit there and you listen and you be kind. Even when people come at you sideways, I'd be like, yo, what's her name? Tell her I'm coming to the job. We know what her name is, but I ain't going to say her name because you don't want to. That's the 7, I think, the 7 mile. Right. So anyhow.
Come back, Mr. P. Come back.
Anyhow, you are still kind to them. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the fact. So that's a superpower. But you have to do maintenance on that thing.
Yes.
You have to continue to go to that spot by yourself, listen to yourself, remind yourself, what do you do well? What are you here for? What's your plan and purpose in life? And that thing that you do well, how is it blessing someone else? You know, I'm really discovering over these last few weeks, you know, that this expression sessions, me doing the live videos, regardless of how I feel they coming off or not, like it's actually blessing someone else. Yes. You revealing your pain sometimes, your transparency, and you making it. You finding your superpower and your power voice, and you having the ability to say, not me, no more. I quit, but I don't want that. I'm not taking that. Yeah. When you find that superpower to speak up for yourself, that's when life begin to change for you. Superpowers is not all about flames and teleporting and all that. Superpowers is about developing the gift that you already have and making that more powerful than the man or woman you are today. So when you leave, that gift that you had, that superpower that you possess, will continue to be a blessing to someone else.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the question I want you to ask yourself. If I had a superpower, what would it be? How would I use it, and would it bless someone else? And if you don't know what your superpower is, and I'm not talking about teleporting, I'm not talking about shooting fire and ice, I'm talking about a gift that you possess internally that you can develop more. If you don't know what your superpower is, here's what I need you to do to figure it out. I need you to find some quiet time by yourself. I need you to go in the room with no iPhone, no smartphone, no TV, no radio, no nothing. Even if you have to sit in your car, wherever you have to sit, shut it down, make it quiet, and sit there and think. Pop your headphones in with no music, no noise. Just think and listen. Don't do too much talking. Just listen. And while you're there, start to think about or meditate on those things that bring you peace, those things that bring you joy, those things that bring you excitement, those things that you may do easy, or even those things that hurt for you to do, but it's so relieving and it blesses someone else in the process. Once you discover what that is, you take that and you develop it the best way you know how. You activate your greatness. You start where you are with what you have, because what you have is enough. Yes. I believe I heard Eric Thomas and Les Brown say that. But as I say, activate your greatness. You don't have to be great to get started, but you got to start if you want to be great. Yes. And part of using that superpower is exercising that superpower. I know I've been blessed with the gift to speak, regardless to what some other people may feel. Other people, it fits, it works for. Now it is up to me to continue to develop my gift to speak. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Blessings, blessings, blessings. I ain't have nothing else.
I thought you was going. I thought you was going to pray for us or something.
Hey, this is Blessings has been brought to you by Mr. P.I.E.N. and the good people, Mr. P.I.E.N. LLC. That's me, you, everybody know what to do. Like, share, subscribe to this channel, share this video, be a blessing to someone else. If this was some inspiration for your situation that motivated you to change your situation, bless somebody else with this video. What you got for the people, Lord? I mean, babe. I do bow down to him. I be like, you girl. Oh,
you back?
Hey, I never left. I knew what I was doing. I just wanted y'all to see.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
It's my superpower. To be free, be me, to just be you. PSP and a 1, 2 shooby doop doo.
Singing is not a superpower, but being silly is a superpower.
Absolutely, it is. We've been laughing from the day we met, man.
Yes.
That's the only thing that kept myself close to it. She's like, you know what? I'm gonna laugh, right, Jesus? All the other stuff you can take, but the laughter. Communications, you got to know how to, communicate in order to get people to laugh. I don't know.
Indeed.
Thank everyone for joining. Miss Tasha, Lieutenant Dan, Shem, Donovan, Dre, Post, what's going on, Post? Miss Erica, thank everybody for joining in, tuning in with me and my silliness and my madness. I really believe the words that we left with y'all today. Hopefully it was a blessing to somebody. You know, not too many comments. That's cool. People are sleeping. Like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down. Please don't forget to chime in and let us know, if you had a superpower, what would it be? How would you use it? How would it bless someone else? Think about that. I don't need you to teleport over here and tell me about it. I don't need you to be invisible when I'm in the shower at the grocery store or something like that. I don't need all that. Just tell me what gift that you have that you can develop to bless someone else. If you don't know, 3 simple things: go get by yourself, get quiet, get very quiet, listen to yourself. And as you listen to yourself, think, what is that one thing or those things that's brought me joy, those things that I excel at, those things I do well, those things I do unconsciously, those things I do that don't involve money. Like maybe that's part of your superpower. When you develop that, when you know what that superpower is, work on it to develop it. Work on your power to say no, not today. Work on your power to say no, thank you. No, work on your power to say I'm done. Work on your power to say I love me. Develop whatever your superpower may be for you that's going to be beneficial to someone else. You understand what I'm saying? Like, share, subscribe this channel, this video. You got anything else for him? Because I didn't close out like 8 times.
No, it's good. I think people are really digging deep because, like I said, when you think of a superpower, you don't think of it as something that you already possess. You think of, you know, like
that's my
super
wife's
strength.
Superpower. And my wife had the power to always take whatever I say and say, yeah, baby, that sounds great. The people is just thinking deep on what you said. It's not that ain't nobody watching, but babe, you said communication. I mean, that's deep. That's her superpower. If fellas, okay? No offense to nobody's wife, because every man feels this way about his wife, I believe. You got the best wife in the world, but fellas, if you got you a wife like this, you better keep her. And if you ain't found it yet, you better go looking. I be asking her, babe, just you know, why don't just agree with me, even if it's a man? And she be like, but you know, I will, but really, babe, does that make sense? So she always, you know, get me back in line or whatever, but then she'll hit me with stuff like, yeah, that was good. They just thinking deep about it. So, but
That's what
I know it's what she really feel. But sometimes the look on her face, I'd be like, "Is you with me?" But she being honest. So, superpower. This is my superpower right here. She helps me be strong.
People don't think that, you know, they already have their superpower. They think, you know, if I had more money, if I had more time, if I had more of something, then I could be great. I could be living my best life.
If you watch more Mr. P.I.E.N, you too will be super.
Okay, but you already have what you need. You just need to discover it, develop it, and put it into action.
It's true. Discover, develop, and put into action.
Indeed.
All right. Peace, P.I.E.N, hair grease, y'all. That's how
you gonna you gonna hit them with the then you're gonna say okay.
I was thinking about the Soul Train.
I was trying to come up with something, but I had nothing, you know, like.
Well, we thank y'all for tuning in to another wonderful Saturday session of Expression Sessions. Hopefully this was some inspiration for your situation to relax your mind as if you were on vacation. As in Vogue say, free your mind and the rest will follow. Develop your superpower. We out. We'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in. Share this video. Like, comment down below. We out. What about that? That good?
Yeah, that was good.
Okay. Peace.
Peace.